Welcome to the CompTIA A+ Prepcast presented by baremetalcyber.com. Command line tools offer direct control over a computer system without relying on graphical menus. For technicians, they are essential in troubleshooting, scripting, and managing systems that may not respond well to mouse input or visual interfaces. Whether you are diagnosing a startup problem, automating file transfers, or running maintenance scripts, the command line provides unmatched precision. The A+ Core 2 exam tests your ability to use and interpret these tools, with a focus on navigation, syntax, and understanding the results of basic commands. To launch a command line environment in Windows, you can open Command Prompt, PowerShell, or Windows Terminal. You can do this by typing CMD, PowerShell, or Windows Terminal into the search bar. Most tasks that modify system settings require elevated access, so you will need to right-click and select Run as Administrator. Standard sessions have limited privileges. On the exam, you may be asked to distinguish between standard and elevated access, especially when a command fails due to permissions. Basic navigation of the file system begins with a few essential commands. The command spelled CD is used to change your current directory. For example, cd space documents moves into the documents folder. The command spelled dir lists the files and subfolders in the current directory. This is the equivalent of opening a folder in a graphical interface. The command spelled cls clears the screen, which is useful when the output becomes difficult to read. These three commands are often combined during basic directory exploration or when locating files by name. It is important to understand the difference between relative and absolute paths. A relative path is based on your current location in the file system. For example, typing cd space ... moves you up one directory level. An absolute path starts from the root and includes the full path, such as c:\users\admin. This distinction is critical when scripting or when specifying file locations in automation tools. Errors in path structure often lead to file not found messages which are tested on the exam. To manage folders, use the command mkdir to create a new directory and rmdir to remove one. These commands are similar to creating or deleting folders in a file explorer. If you add the /s flag to rmdir, it will delete the folder and all of its contents. Use this option with care, especially when working in system folders. Some operations may require administrative access if the folder is protected by the operating system. Correct usage of these folder commands is especially important in recovery scenarios. The dir command allows you to view folder contents using additional formatting. The /w option displays files in a wide format. The /p option pauses after each screen of output. You can also filter results by using wildcards. For example, typing dir *.txt lists all files with a txt extension. This helps narrow the view to specific file types, especially when working in folders with hundreds of entries. Efficient use of filters is often part of troubleshooting file misplacement. File-level commands like copy, del, and move are used frequently during support tasks. Copy creates a duplicate of a file, while move transfers the file to a new location. The del command deletes files. Use caution when using del with wildcards, as this can remove large sets of files if typed incorrectly. When working with file names that contain spaces, enclose them in quotation marks. Understanding when to use each of these commands is fundamental to daily operations and exam readiness. For guidance on any command, type the command followed by a space and a /?. For example, copy space /? displays all available syntax options and flags for the copy command. This works for most system commands and is a useful way to explore their functions. Even advanced technicians refer to this built-in help when testing new scripts or verifying command behavior. The exam may include questions that require you to interpret help output or identify incorrect syntax. Piping and redirection control where command output is sent. Using the greater than symbol sends the output to a file. For example, typing dir greater than files.txt saves the directory list into a text file. The pipe symbol, which looks like a vertical line, sends the output of one command into another command. This is useful when filtering data or formatting results. A common example is combining the type command with find to locate a keyword inside a file. These techniques are part of automation, reporting, and troubleshooting. For more cyber-related content and books, please check out cyberauthor.me. Also, there are other prepcasts on cybersecurity and more at baremetalcyber.com. The echo and type commands are used to display information in the terminal window. The echo command can print a simple message to the screen, such as typing echo space testing to confirm that a script or command section is running. In scripting, echo can also turn command visibility on or off to clean up output. The type command displays the contents of a text file directly in the console. This is useful for checking small files, like logs or instructions, without having to open them in a separate application. Environment variables let the operating system substitute values dynamically during a command or script. Common examples include %temp%, which points to the system's temporary folder, and %username%, which returns the currently logged-in user. These variables make scripts more portable and reduce the need to hard-code directory paths. The set command can list all current environment variables or assign new ones. When troubleshooting file locations or user-specific errors, understanding how these variables behave is extremely important. Tab completion greatly improves typing efficiency in the command line. When entering a long folder or file name, pressing the Tab key automatically fills in the rest of the name if it matches something in the current directory. If multiple matches exist, pressing Tab again cycles through the available options. This feature reduces typing mistakes, saves time, and avoids syntax errors. Tab completion works in Command Prompt, PowerShell, and Windows Terminal, and it is an expected habit in real-world command line work. PowerShell and Command Prompt offer similar functions but follow different syntax rules. PowerShell uses commandlets, such as getProcess and setDate, which follow a verb-noun format and often include built-in help and error handling. Command Prompt relies on older commands like dir, del, and copy. The A+ exam primarily tests your knowledge of Command Prompt, but you should recognize PowerShell usage in administrative scripts and newer automation tools, especially in modern enterprise environments. Network paths can also be managed from the command line. The netuse command maps a drive letter to a network share using a universal naming convention path, such as \server\share. You may be prompted for credentials depending on the target system's permissions. Mapping network drives through the command line is often used in login scripts or during system provisioning, especially in large business environments where users need access to shared folders automatically. Two basic commands that control the terminal session are exit and cls. The exit command closes the command line window and ends the current session. The CLS command clears the screen of all previous output, which is useful when demonstrating something or preparing a fresh view for logging. These commands are easy to remember but still appear in exam questions, particularly in scenario formats where clear workspace management is required. Combining commands is a powerful way to streamline work at the command line. For example, dir greater than files.txt saves a directory listing to a text file. Using copy*.txt followed by the path to a folder moves all text files to a backup directory. You can also chain commands using the pipe symbol. For instance, typefile.txt pipe find space old quotates error searches for a keyword within a file's contents. This is especially useful for scanning logs or filtering output. In system recovery situations, the command line becomes the primary tool for restoration. When the graphical interface fails to load, Windows Recovery Environment gives you access to essential tools like chkdsk to scan for file system errors, bootrec to fix boot issues, and sfc to restore corrupted system files. You can also use copy or other file utilities to retrieve critical data before reinstalling the operating system. Comfort with command line tools in recovery scenarios is a major skill for real-world support and a tested objective on the exam. A common troubleshooting question on the exam might describe a technician receiving a file not found error. The tech uses cd to enter the intended folder but receives an error. By running dir, they realize they navigated to the wrong path. After correcting the directory, the file appears. This scenario shows how essential it is to understand your current working directory and how to verify results before concluding the file is missing. File navigation is tested heavily in both written and simulation formats. To summarize, command line navigation and syntax form a core part of A+ support skills. You must know how to move between directories, list files, manage folders, and redirect output. The exam does not reward memorization alone. It expects you to use each command with intent and clarity. Practicing these commands in live environments or simulations helps you build speed and reliability. These are the tools you'll reach for when systems break, when UI elements disappear, or when precision is required in complex environments. Thank you for listening. Please visit baremetalcyber.com for more cybersecurity information, podcasts, books, and more.